Good morning, Ma'am Joy. Currently, I will going to perform our performance test, which is moto ang among oral recitation. So, firstly, I'm Christina Stella Marie R. Ocampo, grade 11 ABND. So, let's start. So, a working capital equals current asset minus current liabilities. So, ang working capital is preferred because it would mean that current asset is sufficient or more pay off all the current liabilities. So, mao to ang working capital. So, ang current ratio equals current asset divided by current liabilities. So, ang current ratio it used to evaluate the company's liquidity. So, mao to ang current ratio. So, ang asset test ratio equals quick asset divided by current liabilities. So, ang asset test ratio is strict variation of the current ratio as formula measured as liquidity. So, ang account receivable turnover ratio equals net sales divided by average account receivable. So, ang kani siya kay ratio of measures of frequency of conversation of company's account receivable. So, ito ang ang accounts receivable turnover ratio. Ang average collection period is equals 365 days divided by account receivable turnover ratio. So ang account receivable, this is a usual number of days that would take before the company would able to collect the certain group of companies of receivable. So inventory turnover ratio equals cost of goods sold divided by average inventory. So ang kani siya kay this ratio is means that number of times the company was able to sell entire inventory to customer during the year. So auto ang inventory turnover ratio. So ang average days in inventory equals 365 days divided by average inventory. So ang average days in inventory, this ratio computes the number of days that it will take before inventory are sold by the company. So, ito ang average days in inventory. So, ang number of days in operating cycles equals average collection period plus average days in inventory. So, kani siya kay this is the measure on how long it will take before the company it will transform its inventory back to cash. So, ito ang numbers of days in operating cycle. So, ang debt to total asset ratio is equals to total liabilities divided by total assets. So, ang debt to total ratio shows how assets of the company were financed by the creditors. So, ito ang debt to total assets. So, ang debt to total equity ratio is equal debt to equity ratio is equals to total liabilities divided by total asset total liabilities divided by total equity total owners equity ay sumuoto ang mao ni siya kay it shows how much of the assets of the company have financed by the owners. So ang gross profit ratio is equals to gross profit divided by net sales. So kani daw siya kay proportion of the gross profit of the company with its net sales. So mo to ang gross profit ratio. So ang profit margin ratio is equals to net income after tax divided by net sales. So kaning kuan kay gi-measured of proportion between the NIAT and the net sales. So mo to ang profit margin ratio. So ang operating expense to total ratio is equals to operating expense divided by net sales. So kani siya kay murag if measure of the murag kuan daw mga net sales nga murag niya yun sila kuan daw kung maadto sila sa operating expense kung dito daw sila maadto it goes to kung maadto sila sa ito sa operating expense. So mao to ang operating expense to total sales ratio. So return on investment naa ni siya duha ka klase nga kuan return on investment. So ang pinakauna kay return on asset o kato na yung isa kay return on equity. So ang return on asset kay ang formula kay net income after tax divided by the average total assets. So ang kani siya ang kaning return on asset kay measures the peso value so of income generated by the employing the company's asset. So mao to ang return on asset. So ang return on equity is equals to net income after tax divided by average owner's equity. So ang kani siya kay measured ang net income generated by the owner's capital investment in the business. So mao to ang katong tanan. So mao to ang return on equity. So akong conclusion day ani kay why we perform ani nga analysis kay like for example bukod sa kuan importante siya na share ka benefits. So kuan sad kana like for example in the near future man nato diba like for example accountancy man most of us accountancy man gid atong kwaon. So kuan kang like kuan sad ta naasa tayo knowledge kung unsa nato unsa nga formula dapat atong gamiton kung unsa nga kuan nga ratios like for example like working capital unsa na siya gamiton unsa na siya nga formula unsa iyang analysis unsa na siya unsa iyang meaning iyan like for example inga na lang gyud so kung kuan lang gyud kung so if dili masid siguro ta mag accountancy at least asa tay knowledge about kuan about inga na financial mga ratios so amo to ang ako ang conclusion. So once again, good morning ma'am. Thank you. Nervous na gid kay ko. So mao na to ba?